Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mike?
Good, good. Well, so far, it's you.
I'm surprised I'm the only one on.
Yeah, I didn't promote it too hard. I had a house inspection thing that we're looking at a house. Well, we actually bought a house, and we had some inspectors come over, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to make it back, but I did. So I didn't promote it as hard as I could,
Oh,
but
gotcha.
it's
Yeah,
all
I just
good.
I just put it in my calendar, so it's just
Yeah. So I was just going to talk about email automations today. Um,
okay, cool. Yeah,
but
that's what I want to know about.
yeah, cool. So what are you working on right now?
Well, I just got my school set up,
Okay.
and so that has which I actually had Amanda, she helped me with that,
Hmm.
getting that set up. And so that has definitely been like the one thing that I was like most worried about was just getting it set up and just trying to figure out what to do after that. I'm in a unique situation because I am a financial advisor. And so I had to actually go to my compliance and ask them basically how I would add a coaching business. And I actually had to um, basically put on there that I was starting a coaching business and I had to basically just like make it public where people would or my compliance would know that I had it on there. And
Hmm.
so basically it's not really approval, but it's just kind of more of like a notifying them.
Hmm.
And so I've just been trying to figure out like what I can and cannot say, and everything is going to be like budget related. So no financial or investing, stuff like that. So that's kind of really what I've been working on, is just making sure that I'm compliant and that I'm, able to build a community that I want to build. And then right now I'm just working on sending out a ton of notification or invites, notifying people that have a school, got my Instagram set up that I'll be doing content on, and then I have my school link in the bio. So that's what I've done so far.
Very good. Very good. So you're going to be using Instagram then primarily to get traffic? Is that what?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Instagram Reels is really what I wanted to start with. Don't know that I'm necessarily ready to do a long video on YouTube. It's a little
Hmm.
intimidating
Yeah,
starting from scratch and not really doing social media at all.
sure.
Um, Mainly just the fact that I didn't really know how to do it, and I have a hard time not not getting in my own way a lot of the time with that. And so I think that starting with just like 60-second videos and reels and stuff like that would help. And TikTok's kind of unsure, obviously, of the future of TikTok. So I don't want to start on something that I don't know a ton about and everything like that. So I thought Instagram would be a good place to start.
Sure. No, that's good. Okay. So the highest ROI thing that I've ever seen or that I know of, even higher return on investment than speaking on a stage, doing phone sales, speaking to anybody is email, right? For every dollar that you install or that you invest into email marketing, it returns $42 on average. That's 4,200% return. So, um, crazy, right?
Yeah, that
Um,
is.
yeah. So the reason why, though, it makes sense. I mean, have you checked your email today? You know,
Yeah, I have actually. I have
yeah,
two,
yeah.
and I've
So
checked both
it's
of them.
it's it's one of those things. It's how we access everything, and it's it's where we go to kind of communicate in a different way that's more important. Like you don't just let anybody have your email address, like into your email. You don't just let anybody have your password to your email, right?
Hmm.
So, but it's a great place to go, and it's really easy to set up, especially with Skool. So with Skool, you can have it so that Zapier, when somebody joins your school, Zapier gets notified, and Zapier will add them to your email list over at system.io.
Okay.
So I was just going to show how you can then have, and I'll just kind of share this real quick. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Can you see the Zoom screen?
Mm-hmm. And I
Okay.
did get the second one you mentioned, this System IO
Hmm.
set up. And so I think it's just a Zapier that, well, learning how to use the system, I guess, with the Zapier is going
Hmm.
to be very helpful.
Yeah. So basically what we got is we're out there on, social media and we're making some sort of offer that people want and it's free. And that offer, we call it a lead magnet, that gets people to join our email list. But what they typically do, depending on how you've got it set up, you can use system.io for the landing page, or you could use Skool for the landing page. But basically, what happens is um, you can send people from social media, you make the free offer, and they can go straight to Skool. And when they join Skool, it will go over here and talk to Zapier. It's really easy to set up. They call it a Zap. And then that Zap sends that person's, their name and their email. It sends that over to, in this case, you can use a lot of different ones, but system.io, I think, is pretty good for most people. It sends it over to system.io, and then you want to tag it with lead or something that lets you know that they're a lead. And then when that happens, we tell system, okay? We tell system.io if somebody gets this tag, start this email automation, right? And I'll just put like a thing like this for automation, okay? So it'll start sending these automations. Now, here's how these automations work. An email will go out, and when that email goes out, then we have this thing, it's a wait feature, right? So it'll wait like, let's say 24 hours, okay? And that'll wait 24 hours. And then what we have is this thing, I just call it if then, but they don't call it that. It's just basically a if then situation, right? If this happens, then do this. So, in other words, did they sign up? Yes or no? If yes, they signed up, then we tell the email automation to stop. Okay. It won't send out any more emails. If no, they did not sign up, then we have it send the next email. And then this just keeps repeating. Okay. This just keeps repeating. Got it? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Sorry, I
Okay.
have animals in the background.
Yeah.
Um, yes, it does make sense.
So the main thing that's happening here is you've got this stop feature, and then you've got this if then feature. You got to set those two things up. And then the other thing is you set your emails up, right? And the way you treat this is it's basically like a conversation, right? You've got this conversation going with them. So when they join the email list, the first thing that I like to send them is, and hello, Morgan, you're more than welcome to chime in whenever you want. When somebody joins the email list, the first thing I like to send them is, the lead magnet, the thing that they opted in for, right? And then in that same email, I let them know, hey, tomorrow I've got something really cool coming for you. Because what you're trying to do is build a relationship with them. They're not going to buy anything from you until they understand what they're buying, until they understand the product, they understand the value, they understand that you understand their problem, and then that they can actually connect with you, right? So we've got to take them on, I always call them dates, right? You got to date the prospect. You have to be interested in them. You have to provide them value so they want to continue the relationship. And if you don't have this set up with automation, it almost does not happen because we're humans, right? We don't, it's really hard for us to do things repetitively that are not like a lot of fun. It's even hard to get people to do things that are fun in repetition. So we want to set up these systems that are constantly dripping on them. And we can set it up so that it goes out every 24 hours for like a period of time. And then maybe it goes every 72 hours. And then maybe it's once a week, and we're constantly sharing with them and trying to get them to see that we understand them, and we understand their desire and what they want, and that how we actually help them get that. And so what I also like to do with these emails is when they're going out, I like to send them to my property. I don't like to send them to social media because they get distracted over there. Okay. I like to send them either to a landing page with a video on it, or I like to send them to like my Skool group where there's maybe just a post, or the videos in a post over at the Skool group. That way they're in, my world. If you're trying to date somebody, you don't want to take them to like a place where there's a bunch of like other people that they can look at, right? Or be distracted by. So it's the same thing here, right? It's very, very similar to this. Right? It's very similar. So it's very easy to set up too, but a lot of people have this crazy struggle with this for some odd reason. And I guess if you're completely new to it, then yeah, it's just really foreign to you. But I just want to show how easy this can be. And, with using Chat GPT, we can really get at least a good rough draft of an email that we can then further work on, or maybe you even know what you want to say. But the big thing is always thinking about what how can I speak to them in these emails where, number one, it's evergreen. Okay, so it doesn't feel like, you don't want to have to be going back in there and replacing those emails all the time. You want it to feel evergreen. You want it to also be conversational, and you want it to look like an email from a friend. You don't want it to be like, unless you're selling watches or, jewelry or something, like, even then I would probably still make it look like it's from a friend, but you just want it to look like it's an email from a friend. Okay. So, okay, cool. So we're good on like what we're talking about here. Yeah.
Yes.
Morgan, what are you working on? What are you doing, since there's only a couple of us in here? I didn't promote this very hard, and I only sent out one email. But yeah. So you guys get to take advantage of time. Are you there, Morgan? Maybe Morgan's not able to talk. Okay. So let me go to my screen here. So I've got system.io pulled up, and you guys can shoot a message or just interrupt me. I mean, there's only a few of us in here. So basically what we're doing for the email automation is we are, get a different color here. Okay, we're going to, obviously log into our system.io account. And system.io is awesome because, for free, they give you 2,000 contacts, a funnel, and an email automation, which is insane. Then we're just going to create a campaign. So we go to emails, select campaigns, and we create a new campaign. And then we set up the emails. We'll add an email. I'm going to go in there and actually do this. I'm just kind of, when you see this, it helps to go through it, and you can screenshot this. So we just add an email, and then we create a schedule for the emails. We put the subject line, the content, and then the timing on it. All right. And then the automation rules. So this is where we are telling it, hey, if it gets this tag on it, if this person that's coming in gets this tag, do this. If this happens, then do this. That's all you really need to master when it comes to email automations. You'll go look up email automation stuff, and it is dizzying, right? Like, people are so overwhelmed with it. It's just, if this happens, then do this. And you can have different things happen. Primarily all we're doing is, if they get the tag on them that says they bought, then don't send the email. That's really the main automation. From there, we're just creating emails. So when they sign up, you want Zapier. So if they join your paid school or they buy something, you want them to get tagged that they bought. Okay, so it'd go from a lead magnet or lead tag to customer tag. Okay, pretty simple sounding, I'm sure. Okay, so inside of here, can you see the screen now where my mouse is going crazy? Okay.
Yes.
So you basically just come up to here and you create a campaign. You name it. You can add a description if you'd like. And I just named mine uh, leads to members. Okay. Then we just come in here. Now, to have this set up, you also need to go into your settings. I'm not going to get into all of that crazy. I'll just go to do this because we'll get derailed. But inside of your settings up here, you want to get a professional email. Okay. I suggest just get a professional email through Gmail. Okay. Um, you can go to Gmail and you can pay I think it's like $12 a month or something to have a professional email. You need to have a domain. I would get the domain at GoDaddy. So you go to domain, like I bought makeonce.com over at GoDaddy. And then once I signed up there, I don't suggest getting the email through GoDaddy because then you always got to go to GoDaddy and log in and do all these weird things. I would just go get your domain at GoDaddy for $12 a year or whatever it is now. Okay. And then go over to Google and just Google, professional Gmail email and just get that set up. And they'll just use a wizard to connect your Gmail and your domain from GoDaddy together. And then you can put I have Mike at makeonce.com. I have team at makeonce.com. And I have a professional email. I can log in to YouTube, to Gmail, to all of that through the professional email. It makes it really nice. So once you have that set up, which is no big deal, you just do it. Okay. Then you come in here and you connect your domain to system, and then you verify your email through them. And you just basically they do a little verification process, and it usually takes like 24 hours or something. So assuming you've done that, um, obviously I go deep on all that, how to do that inside of my program. But once you do all of that, then you come in here to campaigns. So you go to emails, click on campaigns, you land on this screen. Create a campaign. Okay. And then once you get inside of your campaigns here, so create a campaign, then you get inside of your campaign, then you're going to create your first email. So the subject line, I usually just go like this. I just put like XXX so I know that it hasn't been filled out yet. I make sure that it's got my professional email in there. It's coming from me. And then I just do the classic editor. Okay. And then click save. And then it opens up to your email, which probably looks very familiar. So this preview line is they'll see a subject line and then they can see like a little bit of what the email says. If you don't fill in the preview line, it'll just automatically fill like the first sentence or something of the email. But what I like about this is you can use this to create even more intrigue. So the subject line is basically, it's designed to get people to click and open the email. Because if they don't do that, you could have, here's the link to my bank account and $1 million cash. They would never see that if they don't open it. So the subject line, you want to make sure that it usually 5 to 7 words. After that, it gets cut off unless they're looking on a desktop. But I always optimize for mobile. Okay. Most people check their their email through mobile. So 5 to 7 words in the subject line. And, you can use a lot of like copywriting techniques. I would just go Chat GPT and start playing with that and see how close you can get and then kind of, massage it from there. But you want it to be intriguing and you want them to open it, right? Then the preview here is kind of the same thing. It's like, think of this as like the headline, and then think of this as like the subhead. Okay. So think of this as like the headline, and then think of this as like the subheadline, right? And again, you'll use 5 to 7 words in both of these, right? And you can always come up here and you can test it, which I do every single time. It just sends an email to me and I can see what it looks like on my phone. I can see the format, and you want your email formats to be really nice and smooth. Some people have the philosophy of, I don't want them to have to scroll with their thumb in the email. I want them to be able to see everything right there. That's one philosophy. I like I'm always like, hey, and it's always very, for me, it's always very friend. How would you talk to a friend? You're not going to send a friend an email and be like, do 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 ba da ba da da da. You're not going to do that. You're just going to be like, hey, are you going to be there tonight? It's like you don't you don't want it to be, even if you're and professional, super professional English students, of great grammar and college degree, they want to do it like that. That's fine, but nobody likes to read a letter like that. And that's not how people talk to people. Unless you, of course, are a college professor teaching college professor stuff to college professors, then maybe they like that stuff, but I still don't think they do. Okay. Um, so I'm always like, hey, and then when I collect the email, I always get the name and email off of the landing page. Or if they're going through Skool and signing up, they give you the name and email. And so when it would send the information over here to system from Skool, it'll have their name and email. So I always like to put their first name in here. And you just use this little thing right here. You can have it put all of this stuff of your contact in there. The only one I ever use is like the first name. So it's like, hey, Wendy, or hey, Morgan, like it'll just say it right there. And I don't have to worry about it. Anywhere that this is present, it'll put their name. So you can do it sometimes down here in the body. You're like, you get what I'm saying, Wendy?
Mhm.
And that's how, but see how, like, when you talk like that, how people respond? Like
Yes.
when you ask questions like that and you put their name in it, it feels very personal, right? So I'm always like, hey, or hi, or what's up, or man, I just be myself. That's always, you can't be anybody else. So, and then I always pick a very simple font to read. And here's how I judge font. If you can barely read it on your screen at normal view, what we don't want them to like strain. Anything that's like extra friction is just going to work against you. So, in my opinion, I use 20 here. Okay. So I use the size over here of 20. It's a great size, especially in the phone. It's so easy to see. All right. It's so nice. It's not over the top. It's just really clean to see on the phone. Like when you open your phone and you look at that, you're like, like I'm trying to see if I've got my other one. Yeah. So like when you open the phone, I know you guys can't see this, but this is, I know you can't read it from there, but just think, this is an email I sent earlier today, and this is 20 font. It looks pretty normal on there, doesn't it? And I have the best like iPhone, the best iPhone, right? So it's real clean. And you notice how it's like choppy, then there's like an image, and then I got it. It's like it's kind see how it's got like almost like flavor to, like it's got some chunk and move in it. If it's just a big block of text, like when your friend, you guys are having like a discussion or something and they send you a big voice text and it's all like one big chunk and you're like, dude, I ain't reading that. That's how they feel too. You just want it to be short and chunky, like text. I try to think of it as like, it's like a text message, only a little longer, but it's like short text message. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I like the 5 to 7, maybe 10 words and then new line, new line. And some people don't space. They'll like they'll just hit one space, double space in emails. So I'm up here, it's like boom, boom, right? Then I'm like hook. I always want to like hook them and then boom, boom. And then after I hook them, I want to do proof, boom, boom, promise, boom, boom, and then path. Okay. Somewhere in here, usually, um, like about right here, boom, boom with the with the skip lines. Okay, you can come up here and you can enter an image, right? And I just leave it this big because it shows up perfect in the phone. Notice how it has a play button. Okay, it's me in here. I'm like kind of in an action of doing something. when you add when you add a video to the emails, it changes everything. People want to see what it is. And all I do is when I create a video, I just screenshot it when it's got the play button on it. And I like to show me doing like something, like I'm about to say something, or I am saying something, or I'm like looking at some. It's all about, if you're trying to date somebody and you're trying to get them to do something and you're trying to influence them in a positive way, like you're trying to like you really like them and you would really like to continue to be with them and spend time with them and enjoy, blah blah blah. You're always trying to influence them in some way, shape, or form, or sell them or educate them in some way, shape, or form that's gonna make them go, I want to hang out with you too. All right. And so if you're like boring and you're just like blah, ain't gonna happen, right? Nobody wants that. That's like the opposite of what we all want. So anytime you can be like, but be yourself. Listen, if you're dry and just blah, then you're dry and blah. People will like you. Okay. So don't trip on that. You don't have to be a Looney Tune, or you don't have to be like over the top or somebody you're not. Okay. Please don't do that. Um, but I like to put this image in here like this. And then you can put like a disclaimer down here at the bottom. Uh, and you can set that up over in settings. You don't have to, but I just like to do it. To me, it's and basically all I'm saying down here, it's like, here's our mission. Okay. And then it's like, we enjoy helping people. And then at the very bottom, it's like, if you have any questions, reply to this email or go to our website. Or if you want to unsubscribe, you can. Okay. And I'm also telling them like, hey, this doesn't mean that you're going to be rich and famous and all. Just kind of a little disclaimer, who we are. It's just a little extra piece, but I don't like to have it like butted up against my message. So I always like do this. I always just like enter it all the way down. So it's like this, and then it just lives at the bottom down there. You got to kind of space it out like that. And then after I lay this stuff in there, I like to click on this and I can make this a link by when I click on the image, see, it gives me this link here. And then I can just paste the link in there so that when they click on the video, it'll go to the video, right?
Okay.
Got it? That's how you put a video in an email. Everybody's like, I've been trying to put videos in emails. It does not work. You cannot play them in. I'm like, I know. You got to take a screenshot and then you put the picture in there, put a play button on it. Because what do we do when we see a play button? We
Click
click
it.
it. Okay. And then, yeah. Okay. So what the job of the email is to do what? Get them to click. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, some people will be like, I make millions and I just sell in the email. That's great. But most people are not copywriters. Okay. You're probably most likely better, even if you're not a video person or a video talker. Here's what I do know. If I bombarded into your room right now and I was like, hey, Wendy, what'd you do yesterday? And you're like, oh, not a lot. What's up? I'm like, hey, you said you do this like financial, you know, advisory, or you like help people with that, budgeting, things like that. Like, how does that work? You'd be like, well, and you would just tell me. But if I said, hey, I need you to type out a paper explaining yourself about what you do and everything, yeah, you could do it, but it would be like, how when you type, you talk a little different than when you do when you just talk. Okay. People do business with people. Okay. Not that you can't do faceless, you can do it. You can just type. But do you think that you'll build a connection with somebody faster if they can like see you and hear you and feel your body language? Or do you think you'll build it faster without them seeing you? Just words.
Definitely the video.
Okay. So if you can easily create a video, and this is a Loom video, I really like Loom. Loom is awesome because you just talk and it's done. You have a link and you can stick it in here. Okay. So like the previous email that I sent out, I just sent them straight to this Loom right here. This was the actual video I sent out to get people on here. Okay. And I just sent them here. It automatically puts this little summary down here. I can even put a link down here in this summary so that they could click on that, but it's instantly ready. Okay. And here's where you get that little link, right? So you can just grab this link right here. And here's what's even more awesome about Loom. If you pay for the $15 to get Loom, like the little extra upgrade, you can click on write a document, create a bug report, which you won't need, and then write a message. So I go to write a document and watch this. This is a 2 minute and 55-second video that I was telling people to join this call, right? If I click SOP, which is standard operating procedure, it just basically it outlines everything that I said in my video. Like it's awesome. And then if I go PR description, look at this. It uses AI, it listens to my video, and then it creates a PR description that I could send out. And you might just grab one sentence out of here that you like. Or I could say Q&A steps. Okay? So then it like, oh wait, that's the bug thing. And then the one I use mostly are these two right here. Standard operating procedure or step by step. Here's the step by step. Introduction to workshop. 11, purpose to do this. 5 steps covered, registration process. Like it's cool. Like you can send this, especially when you create courses here. Okay. Now I tell you this because you can use this for your emails. I grab this all the time and I'm like, here's what we're going to cover in the email. All I got to do is grab this and take it over there and done. It's like, that's awesome. Or if I do write a message, look at this. It will create a message. Hey, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Workshop today at 11 Central. I'll be sharing a step-by-step guide on setting up an email automation sequence and more. Check out the details in the video, the link I sent you. That sounds pretty person, right? And that you can just grab this and you can just head over here to your campaign, and if you're in a rush, you can just do that. But I would never put it in there like that. I would chop it up, right? I'd be like, hey there, just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay. Workshop. There's a workshop today. Central Time. See how I'm like chopping it up though? They'll just slide down this and read it. They won't have a choice. Their brain's just like, I got to get the next sentence. But if it's like a big bulk, they're like, I'm out. Okay. So in these emails, I hook them in the beginning. So I always try to think to myself, like, what would I do here? And then I can always go to Chat GPT if I want. Okay. You always want to try to come up with a concept, and then you can ask ChatGPT what it would say, and then you can kind of mix it between you and what it says. It just gives you a better idea. And I would also encourage you to have like Grammarly if you can, or at least take your emails and go over to ChatGPT, copy them, paste them in there, and say, how could I say this a little better? How could I say this more casual? How could I say this with more like demand or imperative, or like, could you add a joke in here? There's a lot of things that you can do, right? And you need to take advantage of those things.
Okay.
I mean, some people are like, well, that's not authentically me. Well, okay. You have a wizard that knows everything and you can ask it things and it will give it to you and you can use it. Why would you not use it? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So you don't always have to have a video either, but I encourage it because when I go back and look at my stuff, the emails with videos get clicks, and that's the role of the email. I want you to really understand something here. Like when it's like, what's the purpose of the social media post?
To get
Get the
them to,
click.
yeah, to click.
Get the click. Sends them over to this offer page. What's the landing page? What's its job?
We'll get them to click on the call to action whenever you have in there.
Yeah, get them to give you their email.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Become a lead. Somebody's a lead when they give you their personal information, not any other time. They're not a lead over here. They become a lead when they cross this imaginary line right here, where they give you their name and email. Okay, they get over here to the next page. This page here, I always call it the VSL page or the video page. This is typically where you're giving them the payoff. Like you're saying, hey, I just emailed you the PDF you wanted. I just emailed you the, course login. Or in some cases you have on this page, here's the free training that you wanted. And then underneath there's always a button. What's the job of this page right here?
So they click on the video.
They watch the video. Yep. When you get somebody as a lead, okay, they come in here for the free thing to
Mhm.
become a lead. What's your first mission?
Mm.
To get a sale? Okay. Your first mission
Okay.
is there a way that I can take this person that just came in for free? The first half of this video over here, I'm going to provide value. I'm going to educate them. I'm going to demonstrate to them. The last half, I'm going to make a call to action to get them to buy my solution because I care about them and my solution works. Okay. So this button takes them to the next page, which is either one of two things. It's either schedule your appointment so we can get on the phone and talk, or click the button here to buy your thingy. Okay. So this is the buy or appointment page in a funnel. And then this next page is basically your receipt page, or it's a thank you page that says, thanks for scheduling your call, or it's a thank you page, thanks for buying, and here's your receipt. Okay. So I tell you that because when this email goes out, we're driving people back to this page to get this video and this thing or whatever that was. If they didn't buy, so they didn't buy, they didn't set an appointment, the next email goes out. What's the chain of command in the email? Well, there's the subject line. What's the subject line's job? To
To
get
get
the
them to
email
open it
opened.
again. Yeah.
Yep. Then what's the body copy's job?
So, well, I mean, get them to click on the video. Okay.
Get them to click. Yep. And then when they click, it's kind of like, think of it as like almost like a text message or something. It's like you're trying to go on a date, right? This is like the text message. You're not going to go dating through the text message. You want them to come to your house, come to the restaurant. You want them to come over so that you can provide value, build a relationship, demonstrate how it works basically, okay? And you're getting them to hang out with you more. People need to spend a certain amount of time with you before they're going to be able to connect with you. Just like a best friend. You're not best friends day one. You can be close, right? You can be like, wow, I really like this person. But it usually takes several interactions, right? Before you're like throwing them in the best friend category. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's no different here. It's even more here because your best friend just has to be like, yeah, I love you. We're best friends. These people have to be like, yeah, you're awesome. And here's some money that I had to work for. Right. So it's even crazier. So you got to spend that time with them. So when you're doing the emails, what a lot of people will do is they'll be jamming out in their email trying to like do all this stuff. That's like trying to go on a date with somebody in a text message. Just create a video, get them over to your place. You don't want to send them over to Hot Bobby's house and then meet them over there. You don't want to send them over to the local bar where there's like a party going on, social media. You want to send them over to your place where you have them all to yourself and you can talk to them, or your school, right? Okay. So you hook them in and you're like, it's usually a question here. Like it's always like a question. Like if I come over to your place, I'm like, hey, how's it going? Right. But I'm not trying to find out necessarily how they're doing here. I'm trying to like realize that they opted in for something. And whatever they opted in for determines who they are. If they opted in for scuba suit, we could assume that they're into diving and scuba and underwater stuff, right? If they opted in for a financial budgeting guide to fix their budget while they're in college, what can we assume about them? They're in college, their budget's jacked up, they want to fix that stuff. So the next email that would go out, this one, okay, assuming the first one just had the document in it. Usually when I give them the first one, I'm like, hey, here's what you wanted when you joined our community. And then I just put it here and that's it. That short. I don't want to be that guy on the first date that's like, oh, and my and but I did it. They're like, shoot me. Oh, my friend's call. I gotta go. Emergency. Like they don't want that. Just it should be like, Thank you. Then after I put it there, I'm just like, oh, and tomorrow got something for you that you'll love. See you then. Like a friend. Okay. Okay. The next email that goes out though, okay. Sometimes it'll do this too, where it goes back to like midget font. You just got to come back over here, highlight it, and then do this. Okay. The next email is like, so what did you think of the thing yesterday? Right? I made a video sharing why this budget style is awesome and easy to use. Okay. Picture of the video. I try to make it like 1 or 2 sentences. Do you like reading a bunch of crap?
No.
Okay. Nobody else does either. Um, if you're just cool and smooth and it's airy while we hang out with you, but I get my answer, I'm like, this is great. I just walk in here, like they hand me a drink. I'm just standing here. It's beautiful views, and I get my thingy and I'm out. It's like, wow, this is great. Okay, so just pretend that they're humans like you. Okay, see how I got like this? This is so nice. Having um, Grammarly. Okay, I used to never pay for it, and then I just paid for it one time. I was like, wow, this is a big difference. The promise down here is I'm always like, okay, so I made a video for you sharing why this budget thing is awesome. And then down here in this promise, I'm always like, you'll easily be able to do this because I'm going to show you how click by click or whatever. The path, whoops. Here's what we're going to cover. Okay. And then I come down here again, it's always boom, boom. And then I can do little things like this. If it does small like that, just let it be. This and this, maybe 3 to 5 things. Let me highlight this. Go back to Arial. It just gets stupid like that. On each of these, I hold shift and just do one space in between it. You want air. Like what makes music nice is that it's like, if it was just like, it just, it's not good, right? You want some space in between the notes. Like give it some air. Let people like breathe with the stuff. Okay. I know it sounds weird, but this really does matter, this stuff. So I'll see you over there. Okay, Mike. And then I always put a PS. PS. Oh, and one more thing. And I try to tell them something like, if you don't come, I'm never talking to you again. It's just I'll either joke or I'll put it like a silly quote, or I'll be like, don't stiff me, or something like always like, do you like to be around people that are fun or boring? Okay. Even if you're not fun or like you're not like that hippity hoppity, you can always just, you know, use your little fun humor thing, right? I always think like this one person I'm talking to, even though I know it's going out to like hundreds or thousands of people, I'm always thinking about my very best customer and I'm just talking to them. Okay. And I mean, it always seems to work really, really well if you're just cool and you help them. And then I like to put a link down here. I like to put a link in the PS, make the video a link, and then I put one more link up here. And all the links go to one place. There's never here and here and here, because then I don't know where I'm going to meet them at.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to know what they got, because tomorrow I got to send it. I'm going to, or, in a day or two, they're going to get another email from me. And here's what I know about the emails. If they're getting the next email that comes after this, what do we know about them?
They're following along.
And they have not bought.
And they haven't bought. Okay.
Because when they buy, remember we stopped these emails? Because these emails are designed to get married and have a baby. If we got married and have a baby, the next emails are, let's build a family. Got it? So I don't want to keep trying to get them to marry me again and have a baby again if we already did that.
Right.
Okay. I know I say stupid things like, but it just,
No, it stuck. Like it
it
made
helps.
sense.
It
Yeah.
helps. It helps. Yeah. Okay. And then sometimes when I get done going through the email, then I'll come back and like, I'll be like figuring out the subject line and the head and this preview line up here. But a lot of times you kind of want to come up with this and this before you start the email because then you'll know how to lead in and then you'll know how to do the next line. Our goal is that this sentence's job, just like the subject line, its goal to get it open and then the body emails to get it to click. If you go more granular, this sentence is designed to get them to read this sentence, which is designed to get them to read this sentence. Got it?
Hmm.
And all the way till we get them to like click. We want them to meet us over at the place. These are just curiosity statements. You know, like try to find the curiosity in what you're talking about. And if you don't know like how to do that, you can be like, you know, if I go to Chat GPT and I'm like, um, I am writing an email that has a video in it where I share how college kids can figure out their budget so they don't go broke. Okay. What are three curiosity driven bullet points that I can put in the email to get them to want to click and go watch? Speak like a human and make it fun or casual. Okay. You can always get deeper into that. Okay. Curious if you can actually have fun and save money at the same time. Spoiler, you totally can. Okay. Ready to stop feeling broke by week 2? Learn the ultimate hack for stretching your budget all semester. Okay. Now I could say, can you make these even shorter and more punchy? Okay. So you can say things like that. Where's your money going? Let's find out. That's a good one. Save money and still have fun? Yes, please. And broke by week 2? Not anymore. See how cool that is?
That's so cool.
Very cool. And it works very, very good. I mean, it really works good. Okay. It doesn't kind of work good. It like works really good. Okay.
Well, the fact that you said that you don't have to like put a huge like email out there every single time because that's what everyone says to do. And this is like so much better.
Just think about you consuming this, how much better this
Yeah.
would feel. Right. Okay. So we go like this. Then we go like this. And we use Arial. Okay. So look at this. Very cool. I wouldn't bold them. Okay. I probably wouldn't put them in quotes either. That's not what I would do with my friend.
Hmm.
Always think about this. This your person is your friend. Okay. Pretty cool, right? And then sometimes I'll bold this. Here's what we're going to cover. Cool, right?
Hmm.
Mhm. So once we put the subject line and then the sub headline, which I could also tell it to do this too. Watch. Can you create a subject line and a preview email line that would also be very clickable and make them short and punchy with curiosity and be human about it? Are you sure you're not going broke? That's pretty cool. Okay. Discover the secret to having fun and saving cash as a college student. Click to learn how. So this needs to be shortened. I'll say, can you make the preview line less than 10 words? Save cash and still have fun? Watch now. Ooh, I always love putting like video or watch now or video inside. Makes them click and open, right?
Hmm.
I get a chance. So take this now. Okay. And look how quick, whoops. Look how, you freaking punk. Okay, take the quotes off. Sometimes I'll put like this, okay, up in here. I'll just put like square bracket video inside. Just know that it takes a lot of space up. You know, you really want it to be, you want them like, because most people, do you check your emails where you just like, where you got an email and you just check the preview on your phone, like you kind of press it down and you can see the preview?
Yes.
Yeah, it's what I do too. It's probably what they do too. So you want it to fit on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So up here, are you going great question, right? It's like, what are you talking about me going broke? Okay. This is really good right here. Okay. So you can click save and test, and then you just put your email in here and it'll send it to you. All right. Um, always check that. Right? Always check that. So now I've got my links in there, yada, yada. Okay. I've got the subject line. You've seen how we did that. That's a pretty good one. That one's going to probably get opened. And after a while, you're going to be able to go back and save all your subject lines because you can go back and see all of your emails that sent. It'll show you how many got opened, how many got clicked. If you get a bunch of opens and a bunch of clicks, probably the best thing that you can do is do that again, just a different way. So you just go and you copy the email, you paste it into ChatGPT, and you say, hey, this email was awesome. You're a master copywriter and rewriter. Will you create an awesome email that's just like this one, only different? Okay. Now, the other thing you can do when you're in here with ChatGPT is you can ask it something like this. So let's say that you're trying to figure out a subject line. You could say, what can I ask you? So it knows that you're talking to it. What can I ask you if I am trying to create an awesome, super clickable subject line to get my financial prospects to open it? Watch what it does. To create a super clickable subject line, you might ask, what are some curiosity-driven subject lines that make financial content irresistible? It gives me 4 different prompts I can ask it. That's pretty awesome. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How can I craft a subject line that hooks financial prospects with intrigue? Okay. Can you suggest attention-grabbing subject lines for a financial email? What's a compelling subject line that will make my financial prospects want to open the email? This is awesome, right? So I just grab
Yeah.
this and I paste it right back in here, and it's going to give me a bunch of them. Oh, great. Well, how am I going to know which one's great? How to save money without changing your lifestyle? Discover the simple trick to financial freedom. Are you missing out on these money saving hacks? These are all pretty good. And I would ask it, which one do you think will work the best? Ooh, the number one money mistake you might be making is likely to be the most effective because it creates urgency, curiosity, and makes readers feel like they're missing out on something that's crucial. Okay, so that subject line I suggest. Wow, had to think hard for that one. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, why would you not be using this? This is insane, right? You know how long it would take you to like come up with this stuff on your own and it would actually work? Look how fast we did that. That was pretty fast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can say something like this. Hey, maybe not hey. What would I ask you if I was if I was creating a 10-day email sequence to get college students to buy my budget master course? So I'm asking it, okay, what would I ask you if I wanted this? So it's always like, what do I want? And then I go to ChatGPT and I say, what would I ask you if I wanted an answer to this? Instead of trying to be a prompt engineer, just ask old silly pants here that knows everything what I should ask it. Then you're a prompt engineer because it knows exactly what it should ask. Okay. And then Grammarly's like, you're an idiot. Okay. So let me hit this. What's it going to do? Okay. It says if you're creating a 10-day email sequence to get college students to buy your budget master course, you could ask, what are some effective strategies for structuring a 10-day email sequence? Can you suggest engaging content ideas? How can I craft? What types of subject lines? How can I build urgency? Okay. That's great. But, okay. What would I ask you if I wanted you to write them all and I wanted them to be 500 words or less? If you want me to write a 10-day email sequence for you that's 500 or less to college students, everything that you want, you could say, can you write a 10-day email sequence for my budget master course targeting college students, keeping each email concise and under 500 words? Perfect. So I grab this, I go like this, I go like this, and look, it freezes. Of course. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, perfect. Day one. Here's the subject line. Welcome. Ready to master your budget? Oh, this thing's just so smart, isn't it? Body. Hey, okay. Welcome to our budget mastery series. Over the next 10 days, we'll explore tips and tricks, help you manage your money better so you never have to stress about finances again. So I would break these lines up, but look, little short email, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could grab this and redo it again. Oh, but wait, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, all done. Insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've got a budget, let's talk about saving too. Here's some quick tips. Use apps, cash envelopes, weekly check-ins. If this don't match what you talk about, what would you do here? Change it.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that nice, little chunky emails like this? Tomorrow, we'll discuss how to plan for unexpected expenses. Handle surprise expenses like a pro. Pretty awesome. No? Okay. So what do you do with these? Copy them, paste them. Kind of, jiggle them around a little bit so they're for you. Add a video picture in there. You could do this line. Need more cash? Then you'd go enter, enter. Here's some ideas to boost your income. Then put the video and they'll go down and they'll either click on the video or they'll go down. And when they go down, it'll show this, this, and this. And then you can do this and then you can skip a line. Okay. And you can get them over to go watch it. And when you get them over to go watch it, here's what you do. You send them over to a page, or you either, or if you're sending them to Skool, you send them over to a page that has the video on it. This is my favorite way to do it. I call this my value train series. I like to send them over to just a blank page like this, and it's got the title and subheadline that matches the exact email that they just opened. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm in the right place. I just read that. I put the video right here. Okay. And then under here, I put a button to buy my stuff. Okay. Pretty cool, right?
So that's after
This
the,
is just, I just create a page that nobody can find except for the people in my email.
okay.
They're the only people that get the link to it. So nobody else, it's not going to be listed on like a website or anything anywhere. Or it could be. You could just make a post in Skool and the title of the post would be the subject line, headline thing. You could just literally copy paste the email into the post over in Skool. And then in Skool, you could have a link to go buy your thing. Make sense?
Yes.
If it doesn't, please tell me because I'll make it make sense. Any questions that you have so far?
Um,
Are you liking this?
yes, it's very good. Okay, so after the video that they click on that, then you said that the next step would be to go to that specific page that you've created, or you would take them to the Skool page.
So are you talking about which page are you talking about that they're at and they're clicking on?
So the Because like obviously there's a lot of like you can send out a lot of emails. So just depending on I guess let me ask you the first question. So when you're taking them through a series of dates, so the emails that you're sending out to a person that you now have their email for,
Mm-hmm.
how many emails are you sending them on a regular basis? Or like what's the
So
number
I'm
typically?
usually sending no, like, my kind of like rule is I like to send no minimum, no less than 2 emails a week. Some people send one every day,
Okay.
and they either buy, die, or unsubscribe. If you go to Sheen, you know, the little clothing thing. If
Yes.
you go to Sheen and sign up for their emails, you will get, like, I think around 4,000 emails a day, every day until you unsubscribe. And they're a
Okay.
billion-dollar company, and it's primarily through email.
Wow.
So, think about it. Like, if somebody comes to a doctor's office and they subscribe, what are they telling you? I want to know more about this stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you everything I got. I'm going to give you all I got if that's what you want.
Mm-hmm. So you said no less than 2 emails a
A
week,
week.
but there
In the
could be.
beginning, think about it like this. You and I just meet, okay? We're at the bar or whatever, dating thing. We meet. I want to date you, but I don't talk after we meet. I don't talk to you again for a week. No chance. I'm a
Yeah.
mystery. I'm a thought gone. Hey, tomorrow, the day I meet you, hey, you want to grab coffee tomorrow? While we grab coffee, hey, not tomorrow, but the next day there's a movie. You want to go check it out? At the movie. Hey, want to grab dinner tomorrow or maybe breakfast or something? I want to connect. I want to get a connection built. Then once we've got a connection, shit, I've got my best friends. I can talk to them every once a month, and it's like we never stop talking every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have a connection built. I have a relationship built first. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So in the
Yeah.
beginning, the first like 30 days, you're trying to seal the deal. You're trying to get it done. You're always trying to get them your solution. That's the whole goal of the whole thing. But in that first 30 days, they might need to know, like, and trust you. Maybe you don't know what part of the customer journey they're necessarily in. They might be in the like awareness phase. They might be in
Mm-hmm.
this like engagement consideration phase, or they might be really deciding A or B to buy. You don't know. You can ask them and you can learn where they're at. Usually by what they opt in for tells you like where they're at. Okay. But during that first especially the first week, you're sometimes it's 2 emails a day, morning and night. You think about when you first meet somebody, you're like texting each other all the time. It's like
Mm-hmm.
nonstop, like you're addicted to each other.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you want to think about this too.
Okay.
And then once you kind of get that thing, it kind of slows down a little bit, not stops, but you're like, okay, we're here now, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
then you just got to remember, if they're still getting the email, then they're still interested because they have not unsubscribed yet and they have not bought yet. I've had people on my email list are like, dude, I've been on your email list for like 7 years and I finally bought. But that happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's like, oh, I've been on your email list for. Okay. So it's like you're just getting this huge. So you're out there on social media, you're educating, entertaining, demonstrating about your thing. You're always got something to offer, right? If you don't have anything to offer and you're not making offers, you ain't making no money, you ain't getting no leads. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you always have something free to offer them that's super valuable that they want. They're going over to get it. They get into your email list. Then you're providing lots of value in the email list. When you make a
Mm-hmm.
new YouTube video, you email it out to your people. When you do a workshop like this, you email it out to your people, right? You're always just value. You're always asking them to, you don't want to get in the friend zone. Okay. You're always
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you're trying to get them to have solutions. You want to solve their problem. And then as they, become customers, then they're like helping you find more people out there. Okay. Do you see how this is like going? And then
Yes.
you're constantly talking to that email list, Not like you're talking. Don't think like you're sending an email out to a bunch of people. You're sending it out to one person. I'm just sending it out to you.
Mhm.
But everybody gets it and they all feel like they're your friend and they should be. They should. You should care, right? Okay.
Yes.
So keep that mindset. I just want to keep that philosophy going because it really does help. Okay. It really, and that is the way it is. Okay. So we know how to jack around with ChatGPT, do all this stuff. And then when it gets to the end of 10, you go, what are 10 more days? And you just keep going. Same with a content calendar. If you built a content calendar, what about the next month? What about the next month? It'll be better than anything you come up with on your own. Okay. And it'll save you a ton of time and you'll just do better. Okay. It's like having a personal assistant coach thing. Okay. I don't work for ChatGPT.
No, but I watched I forget which video it was, but I think it was actually
The lead
the
magnet.
coaching call replay
Oh,
before I came in fully to your community, and it was
mhm,
like really, really helpful. Like I've never used ChatGPT like that, where I would
mhm.
like I've tried, but I mean, you have to like really know what you're doing, like to teach it, at least to know you. So but it was really helpful.
Yeah, no, that's great. Awesome. Good. So once you have this where you want it, okay, then we're just saving it, and then we're saving and you save and publish. Now, this is important. This email will be sent after there's no other email. So it's the first one. So it'll be sent first. Okay. Delays before sending email. Okay. Well, hours or minutes or days. You just one day. Delays before sending email. So the next email, oh, no, no, no. Sorry. The first one is 0 days. That means the moment they join the campaign, it goes out.
Okay.
Okay. That means the moment they join, it goes out. What time should the email be sent? Maybe you're one of those people that want to send it every day while they're putting their makeup on. When do most people put their makeup on? In the morning, about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So you can
Hmm.
like hit them like that with a video, and you know that every day at about 7, because they get ready at about 7:30, okay? Because you're on a call with them, you're like, when do most of you guys, I'm just curious, when do most of you guys like get up and go to work? Okay, kind of, and you're getting ready. Okay, you just pop that in like a workshop sometime, and you're over there, and then you're like, I'm gonna hit them about 15 minutes before that average time, and I'm gonna send them a video, and I'm gonna put in the first one that I send out like that. Hey, while you're getting ready this morning, prop this up on something and listen to it. Now
Yeah.
you're like part of their. This one guy said, I just became their morning cup of coffee.
Wow. That's good.
And you get addicted to it and you build a relationship. And if it's valuable, pretty cool, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Day of the week when it sends. Okay. What days of the week do you want it to send? Because it won't, if I do this, it won't send it on Monday. Pretty cool, right?
Yes.
Okay. Activate. Okay. So then I go to exit. There it is. Email subject. We know it's this one. Okay. Contacts at this step. So you'd see how many people are at that step if I was, sending people to this campaign. It'll tell you how many times this email has been sent. It'll tell you how many times it was opened, the percentage. We want this percentage rate to be at least 20% or higher.
Okay.
Okay. Total clicks. We want this to be, I mean, click rates change all the time. You can always go to ChatGPT. What are the average click rates for, the financial industry or something like that? But typically, I mean, if you're always getting like I would say like, if you're getting 3%, pretty good. You should feel good. Anything above that's just like, whoa. Okay. Now, if you have a super awesome audience and you've been doing a badass job, this number can be awkward, like 20% or something, right? But that all depends on you being cool, right? And then it tells you the status, and then you can always look at the stats of it like this, and it'll just open it up in its own little window, and you can see the stats. You can deactivate that one, and it'll just go to the next one. You can duplicate it, which is nice to do, edit a comment. So you can put like a comment with it or you can delete it. So what I do when I'm building this thing out crazy, I just go like this and whoops, I don't deactivate it. I duplicate it, confirm, boom. Now this is the second one. So I do it again. Okay, we'll just put video and not video inside. And then, okay, cool. Everything's great. Awesome. Let's say we created the next email. Then I can do save and publish. Now I'll say this email goes out after our other one. And then delay before sending the email. This is where I would put like 1 day or 2 days or whatever. So it'll send the first one. Excuse me. It'll wait 2 days. Then it'll send this one. What time? Okay. I don't ever do the day thing of the week. I just every day. Okay. I don't care. I mean, I'll send it out on any day. Okay. But time it'll be sent out. I like to find out when when am I going to get their undivided attention because of just because they're doing something else. I always think about people getting ready in the morning. I know that like when I'm getting ready, if I'm trying to learn something or I'm going through a course, while I'm putting my pants on, I'm listening to it. While I'm getting breakfast or doing something, I'm listening to that. So that's my time to listen. Or if I know that most people, when you guys typically drive home from work, just ask them when they're in their thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could ask ChatGPT. I'm sure it knows too. Then you can just kind of schedule it for that, right?
Okay.
Make sense? Okay. Activate, exit, and keep going. All right. Keep going. Now, once you have this set up, how do we get people to actually start getting them? Well, when they opt in, okay, or when you connect Zapier to system, I don't think I have time to cover all that, but you can go up here to rules. Okay, so we're going to automations, we're going to rules. Okay, in rules, you can create a rule up here in the corner. When will this happen? What triggers this? Okay, so we'll trigger this and we'll say when a tag gets added or removed, funnel step form subscribed to. Okay, and usually these are the only ones I just use tags.
Okay.
Okay, because it's easier for me. I can look at a contact and I can be like, they have that tag. That's who they are. That's where they are. I'll tag them based off what funnel they came into. So whichever funnel they came into or whatever, however they came in, I try to tag them with that, and I make myself know if they're a lead or a sale or an upsale. You just name it with like the product or whatever it is. That way, like you can go back and look, and you can be like, whoa, this thing's working really good. Look at all this. Okay. So when a tag gets added, cool. Occurs when a tag gets added. Which tag? Okay, well, I've got like M free. So when somebody joins Make Once Free, they get M free tag. Got it? Okay, great. What do you want it to do if that happens? Well, what I want it to do is I want it to subscribe it to a campaign. What campaign? The one we just created. Save the rule. Done. I'm not going to do it because I have people with that tag and they'll start getting the email and they'll be like, what the hell is this? But that's it. That's it. And then you can come in here and you can, delete emails, create emails. Okay, I'm just going to delete these. Okay. All right.
So once you give them the tag for the first like initial emails, you go in there and put in the new tag for like, let's just say they are now like have bought something or they're now in your community or whatever. Then you set it up basically that way where you have another tag set up so that you can send them like a different set of emails.
Yeah. So when they buy your program, the next thing now is you got to get them to consume it. Right.
So that's a whole other set of emails.
Yeah. Most people don't do that. Most people just think that they're going to consume it and they just try to talk to them through that and stuff like that. But if you get more people to consume and you hold their attention through it, you get more people with more results that you can talk about in social media, which gets you more money, right? Because people are like,
Yeah,
oh,
that makes sense.
yeah, man,
So
dude,
it's
you
not
drove a Tesla? Oh
necessarily.
my God, they're amazing. Get one.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, so how you do the other automation is you don't even have to go in. What you're doing is in the automation part, the rules here, you're going to create, and you just, oh, you're not even seeing this. Hold on. So we're back in here in the automations tab. Okay. So you just go back in and you create another, after that automation's done, you go create another one. You go automation. You could say tag added. I don't like to remove tags because I want to know where they came from. I want to see the journey they went through in my system.
Okay.
So every time I do a new lead magnet, I'll tag them with something that indicates what that lead magnet was. And then whatever they buy, I use the tag that like indicates what they bought. That way I know like where they came from and what they bought.
Okay.
And it tells me what's going on. It tells me, right? I mean, it's a measurement device. But what I'll do is I'll just add another tag. Okay. And what I do is I'll say if they get the, M Pro tag, meaning they joined Make Once Pro, then what I want that to do is I want them to be unsubscribed from this campaign, the leads to members campaign, because they just became a member. Okay. Then I add another thing that says, when they, so when tag is added, tag added, and then it's the same one again, M Pro, I'll say another action would be subscribe them to this other campaign. Maybe it's this.
Okay. So you're always adding a tag.
Yeah.
And
So it's
then,
like, then I can add them to another campaign.
okay.
Well, this is the same tag. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's saying when the tag gets added, unsubscribe it from this campaign. And it'll say, when it says that tag gets added again, it'll, or, when that tag gets added, it's got another job to do. It's subscribe them to the new campaign.
So do you have to put it in twice or?
Maybe not. Maybe you could just go like this.
Okay.
Unsubscribe them from this one, subscribe them to this one.
Cool.
Yeah, they would do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah, this is the trigger and this is the actions. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So you see how cool automations can be, right? And you see like
Yeah.
some of these actions, don't you? Like you can say, oh, no. I want to show you triggers. When you go to triggers, you can be like, if somebody completes a course, you can have an email go out. You could have when a new sale happens. This is just if you're using all of system. If an email gets opened, you can have something happen. So you can say, if all your emails that are in there that you've ever done are in here, okay? So you can say, if this email gets opened, what do you want it to do? I want it to subscribe them to this campaign, or I want to send them an email, or I can enroll them in a course, or I can grant them access to something. So you can kind of like play with that if it makes sense. Just keep it simple. You don't want to get it. The more complex you get it, the more it's like the more wires you put in the wall, the harder it is to figure out which one's not working. Okay.
Yes. Makes sense.
So, but that's it. Okay. That is it. And this one thing is the highest return on investment thing that you can do in your business. Fortune is in the follow-up. And yet you have this thing, you can create this like amazing email sequence. I know people that have email sequences that are 5 years long.
Wow.
So when somebody enters their email, they don't have to do nothing. And for 5 years, they're just going to get followed up on.
That's crazy.
And the reason I call it the value train is because I always try to add a new thing to the end of the train, a new cart, a new email, stack another link on the back of the train. So every time I create a cool thing that like got reaction, or I see a video that got reaction, just go into your email, go into your campaign, add another email to the campaign. How many days do you want it to wait? And then you have your automation set up, your rules. If this happens, this happens.
Cool.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you, so obviously just set up my school, and I am brand new to like making social media content. So I don't really have anything necessarily, like I haven't even made a video to put in there yet. So when would you suggest, after, the school is being set up and then now I'm creating the social media, like how soon would I start looking into
Well,
email
the moment
marketing?
you start sending people to your school, you would like this to be in place.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be immediate, but you want it to happen very soon, like
Okay.
as soon as possible. And the best thing that you can do, if you're especially brand new, even people that are like coming up with a new offer or something like that, unless you're an absolute copywriting gangster and you're just a gangster, you're just some rare, awesome, badass marketer or something. The best
Hmm.
thing that you can do is just use ChatGPT to throw together a 30-day sequence and just stick it in there. And then you can always, that's going, you at least have that going. Obviously, you're looking at each email and you're kind of like sifting and making it, you're not just copy and paste and set and forget.
Hmm.
But at least you have that in there. Something is following up on your behalf, and it's pretty dang good. But then you can watch the open rates, you can watch the click rates, and you can always, as you learn more about your audience and you figure more out about them, you can then start going back and be like, what is that first email I really want them to get? Because you
Okay.
know them, right? It's like, think about it. It's like if you were right now to go take your very best friend of all time, you know the most about, you love and adore, and you had to create a 10-day email sequence for them, you would think a lot different about how those emails go out, wouldn't you? You'd be
Hmm.
like, I'd send this, and you'd be real careful about what you said. You'd be real careful about how you did it, and then you'd say, well, if they read this email and they're getting this next email, what would I want that to say, and how would that piggyback off of that one? How would I get them to be prepared for that next one? Right? And
Hmm.
you'd be very conscious about that, and you'd be very, because you understand them so well. And let's say that the job was you had to get them to, after they opted in, you had to get them to come to your house 8 days later and watch a scary movie. Think about what if that was the end goal, what kind of emails would I send them that would get them to do that? And they had to do it on that day. Okay. Would I be preparing them for it? Like, you see how it's so much different?
Hmm.
But because you know that it's so much different, you're thinking about this, and you have Wizard Pants GPT, you can really make something mastery, because it's like now you can be asking it, hey, this is what I want to kind of like do. Like, what's the best way to do that?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So buy my course, sign up. Okay. Give me all your money. That's my pitch. All right. Um, but no, like this is like such a big, most people that come to me, like this is like a big, like, and that's all it is. That's all it really is. And people like trip out about it and go crazy about it. So don't do that. Okay. Okay. As far as getting Zapier with Skool and system connected,
Hmm.
you can ask ChatGPT. It'll walk you through it. Or you can just go to Skool, and inside of Skool, okay, you go to settings, and then you go to plugins. And then in membership questions, you have to turn these on, put in some membership questions. And the last one is you got to get their email. Okay. The last question, when you edit it, you're asking for the email address. You have to have that.
Okay.
Okay. Because that's what triggers Zapier. Okay.
And
So
that's
again,
the
you go to
okay, in my
settings.
membership questions. Okay, yeah, because I
Yep.
just set up my
Yep.
membership
Yep.
question.
Settings, plugins, membership questions. And then the last question should be email. And like for what? Like I'm like, enter your best email to get our free blueprint on launching and scaling your online coaching business, plus ongoing tips and strategies. Okay. And then what happens from there is you need to have the Zapier integration turned on.
Okay.
Okay. And then what happens from there is you go to, if I can find it here, I think it's,
Yeah, now that I think about it, I do have it's set up where people are sending me the email. So I do
okay,
have
good.
all 13 emails of the followers that I've got in the last day.
Yeah. Here we go. Where is that? Trying to find that stupid thing where it. Oh, wait, is it here? Yeah. Okay. So under invite, you come down here and you click integrate under Zapier. Okay.
Okay.
Invite members by connecting Skool with Zapier. So when you integrate, it'll give you the Zapier stuff and you'll see it. I don't want to turn mine up because it'll show or whatever, but it gives you a
Okay.
code, like an API key or whatever. You copy it. And then when you're in Zapier, okay, when you do Zapier and you create your first Zap, you'll set up a Zapier account. Okay. And then you create a Zap. It'll be like, what do you want to do? It'll be like, well, I want to connect Skool to system.io. So you'll click on Skool. It'll say sign into your Skool. You'll sign into your Skool with your thing, and then you'll
Mhm.
put the code in there so that it knows your Skool. It can talk to your Skool now. And then you say, okay, now I want to connect to system.io. Well, system.io also has one of those codes under settings. Okay. Under
Is that under
settings.
school settings as well?
Yeah, well, Skool's right here. You just go to
Cool.
integrate.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. System.io, go to settings, and it'll be like integrate over here too. And it tells you in Zapier what to do. Matter of fact, it'll even pull
Okay.
it up for you. And like you just put your stuff in there. And then you got the two things connected together. And you
Okay.
tell it when Skool's like, well, what do you want it? What do you want triggered? Kind of like when we triggered in the email automations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'll trigger it with when somebody signs up to Skool.
Okay.
That's the trigger. And then you'll say, well, what do you want it to do? You'll say, I want it to add the tag, and you have to match the exact tag in the exact way that you have it over in system.io.
Okay.
And it'll say, okay. And then you'll say, I want it to collect the name, the email, and tag them with this. Okay. Over at system, okay, so that was the trigger. Now what do you want it to do at system? Well, I want it to create a new contact and add the tag. Okay. And that's it.
Okay.
And then it'll test it. And you need to have one person sign up through your Skool. So you can do another email or you or whatever and sign up to your Skool. It has to have one entry into your Skool already.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I
That
got
way it
like
can
13 people
recognize
in it
it
right now.
that it happened. It'll recognize it and then you'll be like, yep. Okay. Like I said, I got a training over that, but you can also
Okay.
Google it, YouTube it. It'll do it on there too. But
Okay. I
but you want to
appreciate
get
it.
that in place immediately. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I will work on that.
Yeah. I would go into like a pitch, but I mean, you guys have been here before. So, um,
Yes.
so anyway, cool. That was cool.
Awesome. Well,
Do you
I
have any other
really
questions?
appreciate. No, I don't think so. That was definitely very helpful because other than social media content that I'm working on to put into Skool, definitely wanting to get that set up. That was actually one of the first videos that I watched, I think, of yours that actually got me to like get to through your TikTok and to get to Skool. So
Cool. So, make sure also in your Skool when somebody joins, you send them a DM, like the DM message thing.
okay.
And that you want to like get them to an onboarding, right? So you can create like an onboarding. Think of an onboarding as like when you have somebody come over to your house, you're like, yeah, the bathroom's over there. Don't do this in the house. It's like you're kind of giving the house rules, what you're doing in here, like what we're doing here. Here's the
Okay.
exit, here's the entry, here's the this, here's the that. It's kind of like one of those videos. You're kind of getting them excited about the community, kind of pumping up, hey, introduce yourself. Here's what's coming, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That should be a video that you do, and just it's a post inside of your community, and then you can grab the link to that post and put it in the auto DM. So when they get started, be like, watch this first.
Okay.
And that
And
first
you
email
said
that goes out too can always have that link in there too. Like, hey, here's your free thing that you came in for, and then watch this video. And it like onboards them into the community.
okay. And you said to send that to them directly through like the DMs or to put that on like the Skool.
Well, you'd make the post inside of Skool. It
Okay.
could even be a classroom inside of your Skool. Okay.
Okay.
And then, it's like a welcome onboard thing, right? Like you're
Okay.
like, hey, imagine going to somebody's house and they're just like eating in there. They don't even they're like, oh, you want to make sure you're like, oh, hey, yeah, come on in here. Like, okay, okay. And then, um, so right when they join, they should get that as an auto direct message that you can set up inside of Skool. Okay.
Okay.
So that's just going to plugins, and then you can hit auto DM, like mine's here. It'll
Mhm.
automatically put their name in there, be like, hey, Wendy, welcome to Make Ones Free. Most coaches fail because they don't know their niche. Okay. So find yours here with the free 5-minute niche finder. I send them right into there and that's kind of where I do the introduction. And then I'm like, tell me about your biggest roadblock by replying to this message. And so I'll get auto DMs, and then I'll say, introduce yourself here. Okay. And that's a link to an introduce yourself um, category in my Skool. So it links them. Here's what it looks like. Okay.
Mhm.
And then so this is the message they get. Hey, Mike, welcome to Make Ones For You. Okay. Okay. And then when they get in there, okay, if they're inside of here, it sends them just to introduce yourself. So I just grab this link. I click on introduce yourself, and I grab this link and I copy it. See, 4 hours ago, I let this person in. Hey, I'm yada yada. Okay. Awesome. Welcome. Great to have you. Can't wait to connect. Okay. So you see that happens there, and then it's like, see, it just links them
Yep.
there. They start introducing themselves. They start getting some action going. Got it?
Yes. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. I also link to this right here. That other link goes straight to this video right here. It goes straight to this.
Yep. That's the
Have
first
you have
video I
you done
watched.
this? Have you done this thing already?
Done the whole thing.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
It was good.
Good.
I guess I didn't realize like I just watched it so quickly, and it was I think you mentioned in there like, the crazy people that are still here or whatever, like by like I think what was it, step I don't know, halfway through the
Oh,
steps or whatever. And I was like, yep, I'm still here just
oh, good.
watching every single one of them.
So just think about like what like think about how much more you have connected with me because of that experience and these weekly workshops.
Yes.
Like you probably kind of feel connected to me. It's weird,
Yeah, I
right?
did after like right after the videos. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to talk to me each week and ask questions, and it's like this keeps happening
Yep. And once
until
I
you're
saw you were messaging in your community and like actually present, like that's what really got me like to want to be a part of this.
yeah. So that's like what you want to do. It's cool. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, some of these I'll be making an offer. And it might be an offer at some point. You're just like, man, I think I'm going to do this. you
Yeah.
know, like you just don't know. But like people go through that experience. And if you
Yeah.
just keep consistent with it, then it's great. And you just try to provide as much value as you can. It just, then pretty soon it's like this like, it's like you're kind of rolling a ball up a hill. And then pretty soon it just goes over the other side. And just every day you're making sales.
Makes
So
sense. Yeah.
it's really cool, and it becomes a lot of fun too. So
Yeah. I
um
definitely can see that and very excited. I mean, it was just like the missing piece that I was looking for, where it was like, it was like I watched ClickFunnels training and then I was like, cool, how do I get people to open my funnel, whatever. Like, and it was just like the Skool community was like that missing piece. So,
yeah, no, Skool is great. I'm also doing the training where I'm showing like the whole landing page. Like I actually am creating a templated website in system.io that people can have. And
okay.
I'm also creating um so the website and the funnel. So basically like one of those funnel pages, these just work really, really good. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to funnels. It's like here's one of the funnels that I'm working on right now. Okay, so there'll be a video right there, but it's just like the digital coaching launch kit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoops, wrong page. Sorry, this is the next page. So like after they opt in, And then see, it just says, click Make Once Pro. And when they click on this, it takes them over to here is what it'll take them to. I just put it in there quick, but it'll take them to here. I'm revamping this right now too. And this stuff will be like gone down here. I might have a few other things, but it'll basically just go straight to this page where this video is going to sell Make Once Pro. Okay. Going through a lot of renovations. And then, so this video will basically explain the digital coaching launch kit. They'll get an email. This is the next page that they see. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'll ask them to join at the end of this video. And that's like a sales process. But the first page, which I didn't have clicked on, is this page. Okay. So they get here. It's like kickstart your digital coaching business with digital coaching launch kit. Everything you need to da 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 da. And you
Mm-hmm.
can have tons of these pages. I don't suggest having tons. I suggest really just working on one. Okay. Working on one and getting it going, just working on it till you can get it to convert. Then you can play with more. But then I've got like, your free digital coaching launch kit includes, okay. And if they see this, right, there's like this like intriguing image in here that maybe they want to see. And what are they going to naturally do? Click the play button, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they click to play it, oh, unlock new training. Provide your information below to unlock the digital coaching business launch kit. Please use your best email to instantly receive the bonus training and the funnel template that I email you. Now, why do I do that? Because I want them to go find this email because it might have went to spam. I want
Mm-hmm.
them to go find the email, open it, and click it because the moment they do that, okay, the moment they do that, that's why I send them a bonus training in the email so they actually open the email and click it. Because if they do that, they tell whoever their email service provider is by them going in into spam, opening and clicking it, then they tell their provider, hey, the next time this person gets an email from this, make sure it goes into the inbox.
Okay.
It kind of trains their email system. And I'll even tell them once they opt in, okay, so I'm like, unlock new training, name, email, unlock training. When they do that, it immediately, or if they click this button, it goes there too. Same thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's like this committal thing that happens when they press this button and it opens. They're like, oh, okay, I'll watch the video. You get, it's like this, like, it's like a micro commitment and they want to finish the job.
Yeah.
That's why I don't just have it on the page. I want them to be like, because they're just gonna be like, grab the launch kit. Oh yeah, I'll grab it. Oh, they're like, ah, okay. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I
No,
better
that's
finish
good.
the job, eat all the food on your plate. Okay. So that's all that's on this page. And see, I can run ads to this. I can do whatever I want to this. And you can treat the this page the same way. So like on the free community, you could have your about page where it's this video that sells them, okay? Which is what this one does. It sells them on getting this niche thing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of them doing the other whatever, it takes them here, right? Where they're like, join group, and then they got to fill this out. Same kind of thing. Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm just doing more because it's like I I want to do more. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think the funnels are awesome because it's like the fact that you can make them in system.io is like really cool.
Oh, it's amazing. It's really
But at
cool.
the same time, it's like, there was like that missing piece that I needed. And then it was like even before that, it was like I've got to just be better and just get more comfortable with being on camera and so like on social media because it's just something I've never done before.
Hmm.
And so I think once I get all that figured out, the social media and feeling like I can actually, be on camera without being nervous, then I definitely feel like I'm like ready to work and I want to be a part of like Make Once Pro. Like I definitely see that being in my future for sure.
Yeah. And see how this page right here has automation rules on the page?
Yeah.
So like when I go to, and I'm giving this to people, like I can take this funnel right here and I can share it with people. So like when you join Make Ones Pro, I give you all these different kinds of funnels that are ready to go. You basically just got to click edit and you can come in here like this and I show you how, but you can just change the headline. You can change the subheadline. You can change out your picture. I show you how to make it. You can change these out. I'll show you how to make it. And then what
Cool.
happens is on these pop-ups, you can edit what they say and oh God, put both of your first names in there. Okay. But you can edit all these little buttons here. And then when they click on this button, you can say, I want it to go to this page afterwards. And this is that
Okay.
second page. Or I could just say, go to the next step in the URL. But basically, when they click that button after they put their information in, it sends them to that next page. That next page is the one that had just the video on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I'm saying in that video is I'm like, whoa, I'm so glad you're here. But wait, before I show you this amazing stuff, I want you to realize that the email that has the bonus training in it probably went to your spam. Okay. So what I need you to do is pause this video, go into your spam. I need you to find that email, drag it over to your inbox, or click on it, open it, and grab that bonus training because you're going to want it based off what I'm going to tell you here today. Do not miss that. Okay. Now, and then you go into the video. You got to assume they don't know anything, right? They've
Okay.
never been through, and you got to make sure that it happens because you want your emails going into the inbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes
And it's
sense.
just by default, you've never emailed them before. They don't know you. You're just brand new. You just popped up on social media somehow. Your email's probably going to go to it's probably going to go to the spam, right?
Yes.
Or it might not. It may not. Okay. But if it does, you just want to assume that it does, and then you want to, you know, tell them that. Okay. So that's how you set that little thing to do that. And you click on this button and you can say, what do you want it to do? You can say, like, well, I want it to open up the pop-up. I want it to show the pop-up, or you can have the button submit the form. Okay. There's all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But what's cool is you can create these pages like this and you could come up with different free offers and you can test offers and you can see what people want, da, da, da. And then you go to these automation rules and you can say, this won't be in there. Okay. So I'll delete this rule. You'll open it up, add a rule, and then it'll say when the funnel step, when they subscribe to the form, okay, then you click on it, add an action. What do you want it to do? I want it to add a tag. What tag? This tag. Okay, there's that tag now. Okay, so you'd have, we'll just do that. Okay, so I wanted to add that tag. What's another thing I wanted to do? Well, I wanted to subscribe it to a campaign. What campaign? That new one we just made. Cool. Save the rule. So now when somebody subscribes to this page, it's going to tag them with this and start this campaign. See how sweet that is?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So that, oh yeah. And then if I want to delete it. Okay. So that's how that works. You can A/B test pages. You can see the stats of your page. It's pretty cool. You can see how many sales you've made. Da, da, da. Okay. So that's obviously a deeper training, but I just wanted to kind of give you that idea of like what this looks like in here because that's what it is. You're just creating a funnel and then you're adding pages. You can just literally add a page, but I just template it because I know these pages work. And it's just a 1-2 page. That's all you need. Because on that second page, I'm linking them to Skool.
Okay.
Back before Skool, you'd have another page in here that was like an order form. Then you'd have it like a receipt page or whatever, but Skool kind of took care of that for us. And you
Nice.
don't even need this necessarily. You could just use Skool, but this just gives you more power. It's like, here's one gun to protect yourself. Here's another one, It's like,
Yes. Like
okay.
both. Yeah.
But you don't want to get too many irons in the fire, but that's how you do that. And it does become a lot of fun because then once you have your systems in place, then you're going on and you're just creating content. Content is king, right? Now, you said something kind of, fuzzy with the whole content thing. Like I'm just kind of like, just remember something, okay? Number one, you're already being judged. You're just not getting paid for it.
That's true.
You're already being judged. Everybody is. Everybody is all the time. And people that talk shit on people are usually not people you care about anyway. Because no, like anybody up here would never be like, I've got 5 minutes. Let me jump on social media and talk shit on somebody trying to better their life. That never happens. Nobody ever thinks like that. So if somebody's talking trash, which you'll get stupid crap all the time, I get the most dumbest things, okay? I just laugh at them. I'm like, damn. But I'm always just like, you know what? That person, like, I almost feel sorry for him a little bit because I'm like, man, if you're in that much, like, you're that, like, crunchy that you got to, like, just do that, like,
Hmm.
you're like, you poor thing. Like, you're that miserable that you have to just lash out and tear out at people that are trying. Like, you just almost want to give them like a good wish, like, hey, I
Yeah.
hope, things turn around for you. So don't ever think like nobody that if like I seen you doing social media videos and I knew like I seen you and you were like new at it and you were kind of like feeling your way around the camera and stuff like that, I'd be like proud of you. I'd be like, man, I remember those days. That's awesome. You're getting there. You're gonna do it. Just don't quit. You just got. How do you get good at speaking on video? You make a lot of videos.
Yeah. I think that's what I have to like get to because it's like so for me it's like yeah the people outside yeah it's hard because I know I'm going to be judged and I'm obviously being judged now but at the same time it's like I also am a perfectionist and so I sometimes like just get in my own way and so then it's like I kind of have to have the extra like pushing to be like hey you can do this kind of thing so
And just
I
keep it
just feel like
simple. Keep it simple. Perfectionism will kill you. So throw that
yeah
away. Okay.
okay.
Don't worry about that. Okay. Just be yourself. Totally be yourself. And then just remember, provide value, which means when I get done watching the video, is it useful to me? Like, can I use it? Was it worth my time to watch? Okay.
Hmm.
And then the other thing is just you're always talking to one person. Okay. Get used to looking at the lens of the camera. Like I see you down here in peripheral. Like every once in a while, I have to like look down at you. But when
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, I'm looking into the camera eye because that's me looking at you. Okay.
Hmm.
So you get used to looking at the camera and you want to speak through the camera and you're only talking to that one person. That's why it's really important to know your niche so you can talk to that one person.
Hmm.
And just always remember something. Okay. You're like by doing a video and creating video and things like that, you're producing, not consuming. You're doing something great. Like you're providing something. Like you're helping people do stuff.
Hmm.
And don't worry about what your friends, your neighbors, or anybody says, right? Because if anybody talks trash, if my grandma came in here and talked trash, I love my grandma, never had a problem ever with my grandma. But if she came in here talking trash, I'm gonna be like, Grandma, like trying to like do something here, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Because it's like I'm trying to help people. Like I'm going out of my way to help people. Like I'm trying to, there's not a lot of people that do this. Seems like it because we're in an echo chamber on social
Hmm.
media, but it's a rare thing, right? It really truly is. I mean, the other thing that you need to think about too when you're doing these videos is just always remember that the only way, like, think about somebody trying to do golf, right? You got to hit a lot of golf balls. So the best way for you to get good at this is just by doing this. There's no other way. There's like no other way to get good at it.
Hmm.
Okay. So here's the other thing, though, that people forget about all the time. They think that they have to post every video they make. Why don't you just create a whole course that you don't show anybody? Put on your phone. Okay. Don't worry about if somebody hears you outside of the doors or, whatever. Okay. You're still going to feel weird. You're going to feel that weirdness. Okay. It'll
Hmm.
go away. I promise. But if you're convicted that your product works, like you're in conviction that what you're talking about actually is true and actually works, that's going to make a big, big difference. But you can create videos and you do not have to post them. That's how you practice. It's like
Okay.
going to the driving range for a golfer. None of those balls matter. They're just hitting them out there to get the feel in the okay. So it's the same thing here on your phone. Set up your phone and be like, all right, and you have to tell your brain this. Okay, it's a weird little trick. If you tell your brain to think about something, it won't think about anything. It's pretty interesting. But when you go to do the video, you go like this. This video is just practice. This is just a practice video. This one doesn't matter. You have to say it in your brain.
Okay.
It's a weird, crazy thing. Because then you're loose. You're like, oh, whatever. And it ends up being the one that's like the best. And when you're shooting a video and you screw up, don't be like, oh, stop everything and do all this. When you screw up, just be like, don't throw a fit. Don't get all pissed. Okay. Just stop and be like, because it'll spike the audio twice, and then take a deep breath and do whatever you want because you created this spike in the audio. And then when you've gathered yourself and you're ready to start again, think about what the last thing you said or where you let off, and then be like, okay, so blah, 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 blah. And then when you go back to edit it, you see these two spike marks and you can cut it right there and you know where you screwed up and you don't keep restarting the video.
Okay.
Okay. It's a big trick. Or if you mess up, just be like, and there'll just be a flat line in the video and then just start again. I like to clap just because it's like it triggers me and I can see it playing like in the audio afterwards. But try to shoot your video all the way through. It's like finish all the way through. Even if you mess up, just stop and then restart where you were because you can always edit it out like it never happened.
Okay.
Because if you keep restarting, it's going to mess with you. Like, oh, I can't get this video finished. Especially if you have perfection mode and you're going to get all grumbly and then you're out. Like it takes you out. Well, you're all crunchy in your head, you know? So when you're shooting the video, you just want to be like, oh, God damn it. You're going to mess up all the time. I mess up all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. Always, always, always. Okay. Take, like the best actors in the world. They're like, all right, all right, all right. Take, try another one. Take 55. You're going to screw up all the time. What you do though is number one, going live will help you with that a lot because you have to improvise. And when you mess up, you just gotta be like, sorry, I messed up there. Let me do this again. And that's what you can do in a video too, and just leave it. People love people. Okay. So what you do though, when you're shooting a video, just get all the way through it. Like you're doing it. You're like, all right. Okay. Okay. And just try to remember and just go again and finish it. Go back and edit it. And sometimes it's good to do some of your own editing at first, just because you can kind of learn how to talk in a video and how to restart. But finish the video out, get it done, lean, mean, and scrappy. Let it be ugly because it'll just get better. You can't edit nothing. Don't ever forget that. You can't edit nothing. You can't make nothing better. You got to have something to make it better. Okay. So just create it. Okay. I promise you. And it's the best thing in the world that you could ever learn. It's the highest payoff skill in the world is being able to communicate your ideas. Okay. So it's the most valuable thing that you can do is learn to speak. It pays more than anything else on the planet. Anything. Speaking.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. And honestly, I don't have anyone really in the financial industry, advisor, coach, whatever, doing that. I don't know. It's just like a lost art in our industry for some reason. And so I'm really trying to break through and do something different. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. No, do that. And when you're starting that video, just write this down. Proof, promise, path. Okay. I stole that from Alex Hermosi, right? He's like, he went back and watched all his videos and he watched like the first 3 minutes and he goes, all the videos that did the best, I came out and it was like proof, promise, path. So basically proof is like, hey, I've done, 400 hours of financial budgeting and I'm here today to tell you, now what's the promise, that in this video, by the end, you're going to be able to budget your whatever, okay? Because path, I have 3 steps that you can go through that will get you there. All right, so let's jump in there. Okay, that's that first opening. You're giving them proof. Why should I listen to you? Because the title was of something about budgeting or whatever. So right when you start, yeah, hey, I'm Wendy Day. I've done like a bazillion hours of financial stuff. I've been like to all these places, done all these things, and I got something really cool I want to share with you, which is how to not be a broke college kid. And the way we're going to do this is I have a 3-part little system that I'm going to show you in this video. Okay, let's jump into part 1. Now they're like, okay, cool. She's cool. I want to know that. And we got 3 steps. and then do the 3 steps. And during it, and be like, oh, I forgot, almost forgot. I have this free budgeting planner thing that I made you. Okay. Just go down in the description and grab it. Or you can go to xyz.com and grab it. You can go to skool.com/Windy Day. Okay. At Whitney Day. And then you can, have I been calling you Windy? Okay. Whitney. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Whitney.
know if you were saying it right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Sorry. Just slap me. Okay.
No worries.
Whitney. Okay. So just go down in the description and then you just put your link down in the description. Okay. Or wherever, right? You go up in my bio, whatever you want to say. Okay. And that's it. And then just practice those. The best videos you can ever do are this versus that and listicles. 3 this way, 5 of these, 5 steps to blah. And I've been talking about the same thing for 15 years, 50 bazillion different ways. It's like, what's another way I can talk about this? Because that's what it is. I mean, what do you teach Michael Jordan about basketball in his 25th year? It's a freaking basketball. You can bounce it, dribble it, like, so, but it's just the nuances of those things. So that's what you're going to do. You're not going to, people, you've made it when they're like, you keep saying the same thing. It's like, oh, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
But you just say it differently so different people can get it. Things change, yada, yada, but that's all you're doing. Or I'm going to show you the difference between not having a budget and having a budget. Okay. Or here's 5 things that you can do right now. And as they're watching those things, you're telling them about your free thing. They get into your email list. You're following up with them. You're working on your program. While they're going through your free thing, you should be selling your paid thing. You probably heard me mention it in my free thing a lot, right? Make one's pro, make one's pro, make one's pro.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do these weekly workshops. Hey, come to this weekly workshop. I want to talk to you. You build a better connection. You provide more value. They think of you. You help them. And then at some point, they buy. And if you keep doing that, you start getting a compound of it. And then it's like happening 2-3 times a day, people are joining. And that's it. And then you just master the mundane. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You can automate it. You can have a team come in. It's a piece of cake. It's fun if you care about it. And you do really well. Okay. All right. We've been on here for 2 hours. So
yes, thank you so much for this one-on-one. I never thought
this is
that.
what happens when you make it and there's no distractions, right?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you guys have a
You're
beautiful,
exactly
beautiful day. What's that?
okay. Sounds good. I was just gonna say you're exactly the person that I thought you were from social media. So it's just very refreshing to know that I'm getting the same thing of what I was getting there. So
Yeah, just be yourself. That's why it's important to be yourself and don't look at a bunch of other people on social media. If you start watching a bunch of people that you admire or, they're great people, but if you start, it's like, if you're around people all the time that say the word black, you'll end up saying the word black a lot. It's just kind of how we work, right? So no matter what, you just be, your environment's so important. It is, right? If you hang out in the sun, you start getting darker,
yes.
like, so it's like same thing here. If you hang out with people on social media, you'll start talking like them, but the problem is you're you. So treat social media kind of like dessert. You don't eat it at every meal. You don't just sit there and eat it all the time. It's like every once in a while, tap in there and grab that, or set up, that's how you want to do it. Otherwise, you'll become them. We don't need them. They're already here. We need you. We need your style. We need you. So the only way to really do that, and it's hard, it's very addictive. For most people, it's their TV, it's their entertainment, it's everything. That's fine. Just be careful is all I'm saying, because you will start to be like them and talk like them. And then you're just a crappy copy of them. Right. Yeah. It's like, just be yourself. You're good enough. Most things are simple. Keep it that way. Just get the answer to them as quickly, easy as possible, and just have fun doing it. Don't trip on yourself. Like, don't look at yourself, I'm ugly or I sound stupid or, don't do that crap. You're going to do it, but don't do it. Okay. And then like, just get over that shit.
Yeah.
Please. Okay. Just get over that crap and just help people.
Yeah.
Danny
I love what you said.
DeVito.
It's not about you. It's about helping people.
Yeah.
So.
And people will think that you're amazing. Like, Danny DeVito is a short little bald guy and he's fat and like, he's super famous and I'm sure he's Girls love him because he's richer and he's famous. I'm just saying, like, he's a good actor. He cares and he's trying, like he's
Yeah.
providing value. And when you do that, that's where you want to be
Mhm.
valuable like that, right? The rest is just like, but you're fine. Jesus, you look fine. I'm just saying, like, I've been around the most attractive people and they think they're like the most crazy about looking bad. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're amazing looking. Like, what the fuck? Like, please. Like, okay. So
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm just saying, get over that crap. We all go through it. Don't do it. Think about your people and be consistent. Be consistent. That you can suck at most everything in your business. You could have a bad lead magnet, bad landing page, bad headline, bad follow-up emails, colors all jacked up. Your shit sounds crazy. But if you are like the sun consistent, coming
Mhm.
up and going down, you will win. You will crush.
Okay.
It is the magic sauce. And you will realize that. Like, it is the magic sauce. Is just every day consistent. And you will be like, whoa. I'm serious. There's nothing more powerful than it. So just don't forget that. Put that somewhere for sure. When
Okay.
you start
I
doing
will.
social media, treat it like brushing your teeth. You do that every day. And just make sure that at the same time, just build it into your schedule. Every day at 9 a.m., I got to get my 3 posts out. Okay, every Wednesday at 11, got to do my workshop. That's just what it's like it becomes your life. And you can do it from anywhere, which is nice. It just has to happen at that time. You're doing that thing.
Okay.
If you do that, all the little magical stars and everything that you want to happen and the glitters and gold will show up. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one. I'll see you next week.
Okay.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye.
Bye.